Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzeman, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. As you stand before me today, you are presumed to be innocent. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of these proceedings unless and until the state can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, advise that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Very good. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Sheila Hogan. Ms. Hogan, what's your date of birth?
11/4/67.
All right, Sheila, you're here on a warrant out of Pinellas County. The judge that signed that warrant found probable cause for a violation of probation and set your bond at $5,000. I can't change that. If you can post the bond, Sheila, then you can get out of jail here, go down to St. Pete, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post the bond, they'll have 5 days to come get you. It doesn't take 5 days with Pinellas, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Harriet Kaplan. Miss Kaplan, what's your date of birth?
2/28/61.
All right, Harriet, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, do you wish to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes.
I'll appoint the public defender. The bond is no bond, Harriet. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Toner on the 28th of August. They told you September 5th, but 28th August is the right date. And the public defender is going to come see you at the jail before then, okay?
Yes, but there's a special circumstance. Officer, would you like to tell him what I told you? Yes. This bondsman is Susie's UZL bond, and I paid her, and she takes money for drugs, whatever this stuff called works is. And I help people get off drugs, sir. I'm a Christian. And if the letters aren't in red, then they're not, or a cult. And she takes the works, I think it's called, made with battery acid. And I would never take that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But my landlord has rented me a house for 2 years, 3 years, and none of the windows open, the air conditioning's been broke.
Harriet?
Yes.
Excuse me. As much as I'd love to hear this whole story, this isn't really the time and place for that. You need to tell the story to your lawyer who's going to come see you. So he'll be out to see you prior to the 28th of the month, which is only 3 weeks from today. So you sit tight, they'll come see you, and then you can tell the story. But I need you now just to have a seat, okay, Harriet? Thank you.
Yeah, but I need
you need to have a seat, Harriet. Thank you. Catherine Sanzel. Morning, Catherine. What's your date of birth?
7/16/80.
Catherine, the charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Trying to see if I have a complete criminal history here.
Like where it's
Hang on a second. Nope. Hang on a second.
Okay. Sorry.
You're okay.
I'm only showing 2 sheets, and it doesn't appear to be that we have a criminal history, Judge.
Okay. And let's see. And Catherine, I have an address for you on Union Springs Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
Almost, 3 years.
Okay.
Just about 3 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work at Texas Red House.
Okay. All right. Catherine, we're going to leave your bond at the $500 per the schedule. I'm going to have you back in court on the 30th of August. Very important when you get out that you go and see the public defender right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Jonathan Doherty.
How you doing this morning?
Morning, Jonathan. Date of birth?
Good morning.
What's your date of birth?
1782.
All right, Jonathan, the charge is petty theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir, but I was trying to pay for the taxi. That's why I went to Walmart. I had exchanges.
Sir. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, talking about the facts of the case at this point is probably a bad thing.
Okay.
So
I was just trying to tell you why I didn't have.
I read a report this morning, so I have some idea what happened.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. And it appears that your efforts, while Herculean, did not result in anyone getting paid, and that's why the arrest happened. So.
Yep.
All right. So there is probable cause. I pointed the public defender. State it looks like actually he has an open case. Christy, what's the open charge for?
That's the 16th.
Looks like he has showing a BOP.
I'll get time to serve on that, sir.
Hang on, Jonathan.
Showing, it looks like it's probably resolved, the late 2016 Hillsborough County BOP, and then there appears to be an HCSO trespassing from a couple weeks ago, maybe?
That's what's coming up, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? That's it?
He's got a few misdemeanors from 2001 to 2003, and then nothing until 2015, which means he was either really good or he was out of state.
Okay. And Jonathan, where you been staying lately?
Actually, I've been homeless. I got a job yesterday at the haircut place, and because I recently got out of jail, and I have 3 jobs in one day. But I also am employed by YouTube. I get $3,300 Friday.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at the $500. We'll move this case to the 16th of August where your other case is. If you get out, make sure you go and see the public defender right away, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matthew Jones. Morning, Mr. Jones. What's your date of birth?
10/8/73.
Matthew, the charge is felony petty theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
My family's giving me a lawyer.
Very good. And state, what can you tell me?
From 1993 up through a bunch of utterings and things like that. Apparently went to prison in November of 94. I've got another bump in 96, and then nothing until 2013, where it appears to be a series of drug charges that ultimately landed him in prison in October of 2015. Actually a couple months after that, since he's gotten out, actually he's got one from March of this year here. I don't know what the disposition, if that's still open or not.
Yeah, Matthew, you have an open case, or are you serving a sentence right now?
I'm serving a sentence.
Okay, what's your EOS?
12/20.
Okay. All right, so we'll just leave the bond for the schedule, which is the $2,000. You'll be back in court on this one on the 5th of September. Make sure your folks tell the lawyer they hire about that date, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Christopher Lambeth.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Christopher. What's your date of birth?
2/20/76, sir.
Christopher, I have 3 charges this morning. I've got fleeing, driving with an expired driver's license, and grand theft auto. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'm going to need a public defender, sir.
Very good. I'll appoint the public defender. State what can you tell me?
From from an adult standpoint, from 97, a fleeing to elude, number of traffic charges, 98, uttering, got an FTA in 98 with Pasco County possession of cocaine and meth and paraphernalia, 98 VOP from a fleeing to elude, Hillsborough County, grand theft, auto, drug possession, more drug possession, that ends. The last one, the last hit I've got here looks to be 03. So I don't have to be about to stay in prison, it's not showing.
Okay. Christopher, I've got an address for you on VFW Road in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
I've lived there all my life, sir.
Okay. You got a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm working for my father. My grandmother there.
Okay. On the fleeing, I'll set your bond at $1,000. On the driver's license at $500, and on the grand theft at $1,000. Your total is $2,500. They're all coming back on the 5th of September. If you get out, you should go see the public defender right away. Okay?
Yes, sir. I won't be getting out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott Lighting.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Scott, what's your date of birth?
2/15/78.
It's got the charges driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
No criminal history on it.
And Scott, I have an address for you on Evangelina Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Correct.
How long have you been there?
13 years, sir.
All right. You have a job these days?
I'm on SSD.
Okay. I'll leave the bond for the schedule, which is the $500. We'll have you back in court on the 30th of August. When you get out, Scott, make sure you go see the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Scott. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/22/1982.
All right. Charges battery being domestic in nature, and I think it says a second or subsequent. It is, so that makes it a felony. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. Are you on probation right now, Scott?
Yep.
Okay. And that's misdemeanor probation?
I believe it's felony probation.
Okay.
That's it. I'm showing May of 2017. It looks like a number of felony arrests.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. And what else do you have, Mr. Lewis?
Let's see. We have that from history appears to start in 2017. Ag assault with a deadly weapon, DV battery, possession of marijuana, and it looks like there was some form of plea in that. And that's what landed him on probation as far as that goes. I also have a June violation of pretrial release. It appears to be could have been the same charges. Could have been some sort of violation off of that.
Right.
And that's what I have.
Okay. Jason, I have an address for you on Pippin Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, that's correct.
How long have you lived there?
About 4 years now.
And does Amanda live there as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
recently unemployed. I had the same job for the last 14 years, but
Okay.
because I got arrested last time, I
Okay.
kind of lost my job.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Amanda. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media. You don't have a third person contact her. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants to contact. So if you should answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she's allowed to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this anymore. But that decision belongs to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold you up until 4 p.m. today so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, I'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you'd get new charges for violating the injunction. You can rest assured that someone is going to swear out an affidavit for a warrant for a violation of the probation that you're on. The bond on that will be no bond, so you may want to consider whether or not you want to spend money bonding out on this charge. If you spend money with a bondsman getting out on this case and then get arrested on the no bond for the VOP, you'll be out that money. If you do get out, you can go by Pippet one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever it is you need for wherever you plan to stay. But to do that, you've got to contact the sheriff's office first, and they'd meet you there with a deputy. I'll have you back in court on the 5th of September. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Nicholas Swafford.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Nicholas. What's your date of birth?
July 8th, 1997.
All right, Nicholas, I got 4 warrants this morning. They're all signed by Judge Toner. In each case, he found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire a private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Is it the same, will I get the same lawyer as I did before, or does it
That'll be up to the public defender's office. They may do that if somebody there is familiar.
no, to do public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender, bond on the
Are these?
Go ahead.
Wait, is it a technical that I got?
Let's see. I've got. They were going to do a drug screen and you left. And
Yes, sir.
And then let's see. Yeah, apparently it's refusing a screen.
So is that a technical?
That's a technical. All right. Bond on all of them is no bond, however. I can't change that. These are all going to come back. I think Toner's date was the 28th, right?
So can you make the court date instead of the 5th, the 28th, please?
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Because
They're all coming back.
I do have a job.
They're all coming back August 28th, and the public defender will come see you before court. All right?
So I have court August 28th.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, folks.